Hello again, it's me, Mia, and welcome to another Well Aware Wednesday. So, let's talk about getting creative. So, when you think of creativity, I'm pretty sure you might go towards painting or literature or even cartoons in some cases, but that's just one form of creativity. There's a way that you could get creative without having to, re- focus your mind towards that particular medium. And so I just want to give you a little bit of tips that could help with getting that creative process and how you could apply it into your everyday life. So the first tip, of course, is going to be to be different by standing out. Don't be afraid to ask questions or even share your thoughts. Being creative is all about thinking outside of the box. So if you have something that you think you want to share or an idea that you want to, let people know about, just do it. You never know. It might be something that people would resonate with and that they'll enjoy. So the second tip I would have to say would be to take some time to do something creative. Doesn't have to be something complicated. It doesn't have to be something um, you know tedious. So you could just do something that you could work towards. So going back to using an artist or a writer, when they do their creative process, it's not like ideas are just falling onto them. They usually take the craft that they're working on and they work with it and learn from it in order to make it better. So you could do the same thing within any situation or within any area. So the third tip I want to add on is, of course, being curious. So a thing that I've been learning a lot is that, you know, even when you know a great amount of knowledge, there's still always room to learn. So if there's something that you don't know, feel free to look it up or to try to find out about it. Feel free to read, learn. Like, learning is a great thing. You are never too old or too experienced to learn something new. And if you are the type who would rather gain knowledge from experiences than from a classic book, just conversate with someone, talk with somebody and learn more about their experiences, and it might leave an impression on you to want to get those experiences yourself. The fourth tip is might be the most unusual and but surprisingly useful tip would be resting, food, and water. So creativity, of course, is something that resonates with you emotionally and mentally, but it also resonates with you physically as well. You can't be creative if you're not at your best. So, if you need to take a nap, it's good just as long as that nap isn't overextended. It's always good to just have maybe 30 minutes to an hour of a nap instead of just napping for half of the day away. And with food, you can't really think if you have an empty stomach. So it's always good to have something, to eat. Something, and I saw that having something that's good with glucose could help with keeping you functioning. It doesn't have to be something overly sugary, just something to give you some bit of a pep. And water, of course, we all need water. And so we need to stay hydrated no matter the case. Fifth tip is diversifying your influences. And what I mean by that is like giving a chance to try and learn about something that's kind of out of your comfort zone. So, an example I want to give to you is that if you could see from my social media or, from some of my photos or things that I've mentioned, I resonate and really enjoy the, kind of like the nerd geek culture type stuff. Like, I love anime. I do love cartoons and all that kind of stuff. And, I'm not a super expert, but it's something that I really enjoy. I could really love talking to people about. But at the same time, I had an interest in tennis. I'm not a sports person, but I always thought tennis was kind of interesting. And when I was a kid, I wanted to try it, despite not being the most athletic. But if I want to pursue something like tennis, I would take the time to learn more about it, know more about people who's involved in tennis, maybe know about the different terms used in tennis. It just allows me to gain something that's new, and I could maybe even pull that experience and be able to pull it back into something that I'm familiar with. Maybe I want to learn about tennis because I want to add it towards a character that added towards a character that I want to, maybe create for a cartoon or for a comic book or something like that. So that's like an example of diversifying your influences and going outside of your usual fields. And I saw that, and I also found that traveling is a good example of learning and expanding on your influences. Learning about another culture is always something. I know that you can't really travel too far in this time, so I would say like maybe a light example is maybe visiting a store you never been to, or maybe checking out maybe you know maybe visiting, instead of just going to a store or going to the mall, maybe go to the park and maybe add a new sport along to that. That's just a kind of a bit of an example that's kind of related to that. And finally, the number 6 tip that will help is to relax. So, creativity, it is a process. And like I mentioned earlier from tip 3, ideas don't just fall onto you. You know, you won't always be creative all of the time, and you won't always have the best ideas, and that is okay. The creative process is all about sorting through the bad ideas in order to find the good ones. It's like, with frog, you kiss a bunch of frogs before you find Prince. So you're going to go through some bad ideas before you find a really good one that is good for you, or maybe good for people around you. And, if you focus so much on trying to be creative, you won't be able to get that creative process and connections that you need in order to come up with something that's authentically creative. And like I mentioned before, being creative is different for everyone, and it's not going to come right away and consistent. But if you do a few of these tips and keep up with them, you'll be able to find some brand new ideas that you will definitely enjoy. So I just wanted to leave with you on that, and I really hope that you guys take and see what you think about that. Well, about creativity and seeing how it could help with you being creative. So feel free to tell me your thoughts in the comments section. Also, please check out the links in the bio. You might find something that you might use, might need to use, or not need to use. You might find something that you might be interested in that might help with that creative process. But please check out the link in the bio. So I really hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. And I want you to, do something that you enjoy that would kind of make you go a little outside the box. So you guys take care. See you next Wednesday. And remember to stay calm, collected, and creative. Bye.